Let me break something down for you that most people don't realize. Until it's too late, the charm of a narcissist is not love. It's a weapon. And if you've ever fallen for it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That charm, it's intoxicating, it's magnetic, it's like they see right into you, they say all the right things, they mirror your dreams, your values, your wounds. You feel seen, heard, chosen. You feel like you've finally found your person. But here's the dark truth, it's a script, it's not real intimacy. It's a calculated performance designed to pull you in, hook your emotions, and make you dependent. Because the narcissist doesn't want connection, they want control, and charm is their favorite disguise. Now listen, I know how confusing it gets. Because at first it feels so good, they're attentive, they shower you with praise. They make grand gestures, they make you feel like you're the center of the universe. You think, this is it. This is what I've been waiting for, but that's exactly what makes it dangerous. Because once you're emotionally invested, the mask slips, the praise turns into criticism. The support turns into sabotage, the warmth turns into cold indifference, and you're left questioning what the hell just happened. And here's what usually happens next. You blame yourself, you think, maybe I'm too sensitive, maybe I did something wrong, maybe I'm not enough anymore. And while you're spinning in that guilt and confusion, they're sitting back, feeding off your insecurity, because that's what gives them power, not your love, not your success, your uncertainty. That charm they used in the beginning, it wasn't affection, it was bait. They needed you to believe they were safe, special, trustworthy, so you'd let your guard down, so they could get in close. And once they're in, that's when the game begins. They manipulate, they gaslight, they test your limits. And every time you tolerate a little disrespect, every time you ignore your gut, every time you stay hoping the charming version of them will come back, that's when they win. You don't need to be more lovable, more forgiving, or more patient. You need to be awake, awake to the signs, awake to your own value, awake to the difference between authenticity and performance. Real love doesn't come wrapped in fireworks and fast promises. Real love builds slowly. It's honest. It's consistent. It doesn't confuse you. It anchors you. So the next time someone's charm feels too good to be true, don't silence your instincts. Don't let your craving for connection override your need for safety. Pause. Step back. Observe. Because charm without character is a red flag, not a reason to stay. You are not crazy for falling for the performance. But now that you know the truth, you don't have to keep falling for it again. You get to choose. You get to protect your peace. And you get to stop confusing someone's charm with your worth. Here's the thing that no one warns you about when it comes to narcissists. Their charm isn't real. It's not about love or affection. It's about control. The narcissist doesn't show up in your life with pure, unconditional love. They show up with a plan, and that plan is to manipulate and dominate your emotions, all while making you think you're the one in control. That's the trick. They make you believe that their charm is genuine, but it's a tool, one that is carefully crafted to make you feel like you're the most important person in the world. You've probably felt it. The way they look at you like no one ever has before. The way they make you feel like you're the only one that matters in the room. It's magnetic, isn't it? You feel seen, heard, understood. You feel like they're speaking your language, reflecting your desires, your dreams, your values back at you. And in the beginning, it's everything you've ever wanted. It's intoxicating, but that's exactly what makes it dangerous, because what you're feeling is not real intimacy. It's not love. It's something more sinister. It's a form of manipulation designed to draw you in, to soften your defenses, and to make you vulnerable. Narcissists are skilled at mirroring people. They reflect your strengths, your passions, and even your insecurities in a way that makes you feel like you've found your soulmate. And that's how they get you. They lure you in with their charm, and in doing so, they create an emotional bond that is difficult to break. You start believing that you've found something real, something worth investing in. You tell yourself, this is the one, this is it. They see me, they hear me, they get me. But the reality is, this is the performance of a narcissist. They're not really seeing you. They're seeing a version of you that they've created in their mind, a version that serves their need for validation and admiration. It's like being in a dream where everything seems perfect, but the longer you stay in it, the more you start to lose touch with what's real. At first, it doesn't feel like manipulation because it's wrapped in affection and attention. But when you step back, when you wake up to the truth, you realize that everything they said, everything they did was designed to make you feel a sense of connection. to make you believe that they're loved. Their affection is something you've earned, and that's the catch. The narcissist makes you feel special, makes you feel chosen, makes you feel like you're the center of their universe. But it's all smoke and mirrors. They do this because it gives them power. They want to feel validated, admired, and in control of the situation. So they use charm as their tool. They give you just enough to keep you hooked, to keep you coming back for more. They turn the love you crave into a game where you're always chasing after a version of them that never really existed in the first place. Now, here's where it gets really tricky. As you're pulled deeper into their world, you start to ignore the warning signs. You start to overlook the things that don't add up. You tell yourself, this is just a phase, or they didn't mean it that way. You accept their behavior even when it feels off, because you're still chasing that initial high they gave you. You still believe that the charming person they showed you is who they really are. But it's not. It's who they want you to think they are. And once they've got you hooked, the mask starts to slip, and that's when the real manipulation begins. But here's the truth you need to understand. You are not crazy for feeling confused. You're not weak for being pulled in by their charm. You're human. You're looking for connection, for love, for understanding, and the narcissist is feeding you what you want in order to keep you exactly where they want you. Emotionally invested, uncertain, and under their control. The key to breaking free is recognizing this for what it is: manipulation. And once you do, the charm starts to lose its power over you, because you'll finally see it for what it really is: a tactic designed to keep you stuck. And that's where you take your power back. In the beginning, it's like magic. Everything feels so easy, so perfect. The narcissist comes into your life, and all of a sudden, you're the center of their universe. You've never experienced anything like this before, and at first, it feels amazing. They say everything you've ever wanted to hear. They shower you with attention, compliments, and promises. They make grand gestures that feel like nothing short of a fairy tale. It feels like they can do no wrong. And you think to yourself, this is it. This is what I've been waiting for my whole life. But here's where things start to get complicated, because that initial connection, the passion, the charm, the attention, it's all part of the game, the narcissist's game. And while you're caught up in the excitement, something sinister is happening beneath the surface. You don't see it right away, but slowly, little by little, you begin to lose yourself in the idea of the person they've presented to you. That initial attraction, that magnetic energy, it's not love, it's manipulation. Narcissists are masters at creating the illusion of a perfect connection. They know exactly how to mirror your wants, your needs, your desires. They listen to your stories, your hopes, and then, without missing a beat, they echo them back to you. They make you feel understood in a way you've never felt before. They know exactly what to say, exactly when to say it, and exactly how to make you feel like you're the only person in the world who matters. They make you feel like you found your soulmate. But the problem is, what they're offering isn't genuine. It's not real connection, it's a performance. They're not actually listening to you, understanding you, or seeing you for who you truly are. They're seeing you for what you represent to them: validation, admiration, attention. You are a source of fuel for their ego. They mirror your dreams and desires not because they care about you, but because they want you to believe that they're everything you've ever wanted. They want you to think that you found the perfect partner, the perfect match. But it's all a setup. You fall for it. I mean, who wouldn't? Who doesn't want to feel seen? Who doesn't want to feel like they've found someone who gets them? It's intoxicating. You think, finally, someone who understands me. Finally, someone who's going to love me the way I've always wanted. And the longer you stay in that bubble, the more you start to lose sight of reality. You start ignoring the red flags. You tell yourself, this is just a phase, they'll change, this will pass, but it doesn't. It never does. What you don't realize is that the narcissist isn't interested in genuine love or connection. They're interested in control. They've crafted this persona to get you hooked. They've studied you, learned what you want, what you need, and now they're giving you just enough to keep you coming back for more. They want you emotionally dependent on them. They want you to need their approval. And they'll do whatever it takes to make sure you stay emotionally invested. And here's the harsh truth: when you start to notice the cracks in their facade, when you start to see the manipulation for what it is, it's often too late. You've already gotten so emotionally attached that pulling away feels almost impossible. You're caught up in the idea of who they presented to you, not the person they really are. You're holding on to a version of them that was never real to begin with. And the longer you hold on to that illusion, the more you start to lose yourself. You start doubting your own instincts. You start questioning your worth. You start second guessing yourself because they've made you believe that without them, you're nothing. But here's what you need to know. That charm you're chasing, it's a trap. It's not love. It's a strategy. And once you realize this, once you see through the illusion, you'll start to break free from the grip they have on you. The charm isn't real, and neither is the person behind it. And when you let go of the fantasy, when you stop chasing the version of them that doesn't exist, you'll find something more powerful than you've ever imagined. The ability to walk away, to see the truth, and to reclaim your own worth. The moment you're drawn into the narcissist's web, everything feels so right, doesn't it? In the beginning, you can't believe your luck. You've never felt so wanted, so admired, so cherished. The charm is overwhelming. They say the perfect things. They give the perfect compliments. And they make you feel like you finally found someone who sees you for who you are. It feels like they're the one who will always have your back, the one who gets you, the one who's going to make everything better. It's intoxicating. But what starts as a warm embrace of affection, attention, and love quickly begins to feel off. The attention you once loved begins to feel suffocating. The praise you once soaked in now starts to feel hollow. You begin to notice little changes. The compliments start to turn into backhanded remarks. The support begins to waver, and the warmth begins to cool into something distant. You feel confused. The person you thought was your biggest cheerleader is now questioning your choices, undermining your confidence, and pushing you to second-guess yourself. You start to wonder what happened to that amazing person. Where did the charm go? Here's the truth. It was never about the charm. It was always about control. The narcissist is masterful at keeping you in a constant state of emotional uncertainty. They start by being everything you want, everything you crave, to win your trust, to win your heart. But once they've established that connection, once they've gotten you emotionally invested, that's when the shift happens. The love bombing fades. The compliments stop feeling genuine. The affection becomes conditional. And what you're left with is confusion. You're left wondering, did I do something wrong? What did I say? Why don't they love me the way they did before? The problem is you're trying to make sense of it through the lens of love. You're looking for rational answers to behavior that's irrational and manipulative. The narcissist starts testing your limits, pushing boundaries, seeing how far they can go before you push back. They feed on that uncertainty. They want to make you doubt yourself. They want to break you down so that they can build you back up in a way that serves them. They want you to need them, to crave their approval, to feel like you're nothing without them. Because when you doubt yourself, when you start questioning your worth, you're easier to control. And here's where it gets even trickier. They will never take responsibility for this behavior. They'll gaslight you into thinking it's your fault. They'll tell you that you're being too sensitive, too demanding, too emotional. They'll make you feel like you're crazy for even noticing the changes in their behavior. And because you're emotionally invested, you'll begin to believe them. You'll think, maybe I am too sensitive, maybe I am overreacting. And the longer you stay in this cycle, the more you lose sight of your own truth. You start to question your instincts. You start second-guessing yourself, and that's exactly what they want. They want to destabilize you. The narcissist knows exactly how to push you to the point where you'll tolerate their mistreatment because you've been trained to believe that this is normal. You'll feel like the affection you're craving is always just out of reach, but if you just do enough, if you just work harder, if you just be better, you'll get it back. But the truth is, it will never come back. The affection wasn't real to begin with. It was a manipulation. It was a tool to get you hooked, to make you depend on their approval, to control you. So you stay. You stay because you're emotionally invested. You stay because you've been trained to believe that if you just try harder, if you just keep proving yourself, the charm will return. You stay because you've been caught in their game, in their cycle of emotional manipulation. You stay even though you know something feels wrong because you're scared to face the reality that this person who once made you feel so special is actually the one making you feel insignificant. The charm turns into control. The love turns into manipulation. And the moment you realize this, the moment you see through the illusion, You have the power to make a choice. You can either stay in the cycle, doubting yourself, giving up pieces of who you are in exchange for the fleeting approval of someone who doesn't truly care for you, or you can stand up, take back your power, and walk away. You can choose to reclaim your sense of self-worth, your peace, and your freedom. The narcissist's charm may have pulled you in, but your strength will pull you out. You've probably felt it before, haven't you? The emotional roller coaster. One moment, the narcissist is pouring all their energy into making you feel like you're the most important person in the world, and the next, they've completely withdrawn. They're distant, cold, almost indifferent to your presence. And you're left standing there, heart in your throat, wondering what just happened. How could someone who was so full of warmth and affection turn so quickly into someone who feels like a stranger? And worse, how did you miss the signs that it was happening? This is exactly what the narcissist does to you. They manipulate your emotions and keep you emotionally unstable. They intentionally create a situation where you're constantly off balance. In the beginning, they shower you with affection. They give you everything you've ever wanted. And you start to believe that you've found someone who really gets you. You feel seen, understood, validated. The narcissist makes you believe that they're the one who will always love you, always be there for you, always have your back. You believe them because why wouldn't you? Everything they do seems to back up that belief. They tell you exactly what you want to hear. They give you the attention you've been craving. But then, just when you've let your guard down, the switch flips. Without any warning, the affection stops. It's like a switch has been flipped. And suddenly, you're in a relationship with someone who barely acknowledges you. They ignore your needs, dismiss your feelings, and leave you questioning everything you thought you knew. You start to wonder what happened. You go over every conversation, every text, every interaction, and you can't figure it out. What did you do wrong? What happened to the person you thought you knew? This is part of the narcissist strategy. They love to create confusion. They'll shower you with affection. And just when you feel safe and secure, they pull back. This is called love bombing, followed by devaluation. It's their way of controlling you. They want you emotionally dependent on them, but they don't want to give you enough to make you feel secure. They want you always wondering, always questioning, always chasing after their approval. The reason they do this is simple. They thrive on power and control by keeping you emotionally off balance. They ensure that you keep coming back for more. You don't know whether to stay or go. You don't know whether to trust your own instincts or believe what they're telling you. And that's exactly the point. They want to make you doubt yourself. They want you to constantly question what's real and what's not. They want you to feel like you're walking on eggshells, never quite sure if you're doing something wrong, never quite sure if you're enough for them. It's exhausting, right? You feel like you're constantly fighting an invisible battle. You keep thinking that if you just act differently, if you just give them more of what they want, they'll start to love you the way they once did. But that's where you're wrong. The truth is, they were never really loving you. They were loving the idea of you. They were loving the validation you gave them, but the moment they felt you were emotionally invested, they pulled away because they no longer needed to work for your affection. They got what they wanted, and now they can control the situation by making you chase after their love. And here's the harsh reality: the more you chase after them, the more they'll pull away. It becomes this sick cycle. You'll give more of yourself, try harder, love harder, hoping that they'll finally see your worth. But they won't. They'll never validate you in the way you need. They'll never truly appreciate you. And the worst part is they've gotten you to the point where you're questioning your own value. So what's the answer? How do you break this cycle of emotional manipulation? First, you have to realize that what you're dealing with isn't normal. This isn't healthy love. This is control, pure and simple. Narcissists use love as a weapon to manipulate you, to control your emotions, and to keep you under their thumb. And once you recognize this, once you see the manipulation for what it is, you can stop playing their game. The next time they pull away, the next time you feel that emotional distance, don't chase after them. Don't try to fix it. Don't try to earn their affection. Instead, step back, take a breath, recognize that what they're doing is part of their strategy, not an indication of your worth. You don't need their validation to feel complete. You are whole just as you are. You have the power to break free from this emotional roller coaster. The first step is to stop doubting yourself, trust your own instincts, When someone plays games with your emotions, it's not love, it's manipulation, and you deserve more than that. You deserve a relationship where you feel safe, where your feelings are respected, and where love isn't a weapon used to control you. When you realize your own worth and stop chasing after their affection, that's when you'll finally be free. The hardest part about being involved with a narcissist isn't always the obvious manipulation. It's the subtle ways they get into your head and twist your perception of reality. They make you feel like you're walking on eggshells, constantly unsure of your worth, your emotions, and your actions. And what's so insidious about it is that they don't always do this overtly. They do it in ways that make you second guess yourself, making you believe that the problem isn't with them, it's with you. It's subtle, and that's what makes it so dangerous. One of the most devastating tactics narcissists use is their ability to create self-doubt. You may find yourself constantly questioning, did I overreact? Am I being too sensitive? Maybe I misinterpreted what they said. And you know what? You start to believe it. You start to doubt your own instincts, your own judgment. You start looking at situations from their perspective, trying to figure out where you went wrong. But here's the truth: the narcissist wants you to question yourself. It's their game, and you're the one they're manipulating. They don't need to outright tell you that you're crazy, that you're wrong, or that you're overreacting. No, they don't need to say anything like that because they know how powerful your own mind is. They'll chip away at your confidence by making subtle comments. So by being dismissive of your feelings, by acting distant or aloof, and then when you try to address it, they'll make you feel like you're the one causing the issue. It's like they're slowly eroding your sense of self without you even realizing it. They know that if they can destabilize you, they can control you. And once they get inside your head, it becomes incredibly difficult to break free from their influence. What's worse is that they don't want to make you feel secure. They don't want you to trust your own thoughts and feelings, because when you trust yourself, you become a threat to their control. They need to make you feel like you need them, like you can't survive without their validation, without their attention. They want to isolate you emotionally to make you feel like they're the only ones who can make you feel good about yourself. And they do this by turning everything around. They turn your love for them into a weakness, your desire for connection into something you need to earn. Here's how it plays out when you try to express your emotions or confront them about their behavior. They'll turn the tables. They might say something like, I can't believe you're accusing me of that, or I didn't mean it that way, you're just too sensitive. Suddenly, you're the one feeling guilty for having an emotional reaction. You're the one who feels like you've made a mistake. And over time, this starts to eat away at your self-confidence. You feel like you're always in the wrong. You start walking on eggshells, second-guessing every word you say, every action you take, wondering if it'll set them off. You start prioritizing their feelings over your own, bending over backward to avoid their disapproval. This constant self-doubt becomes a trap. You'll start to believe that your feelings are invalid, that your needs don't matter, and that their needs should always come first. You may even start to feel like you don't deserve to be treated well, or that you're too much, too emotional, too demanding. But let me tell you something, none of this is true. You are not too much. You are not being too sensitive. You are allowed to have your feelings. Your emotions are valid, and your needs deserve to be met. The narcissist, however, will continue to feed into this doubt. They'll make you feel like you're constantly at fault. They'll make you question everything about yourself, your actions, your thoughts, until you're so deep in the fog that you can't see the truth. The longer you stay in this dynamic, the more you lose touch with who you really are. You start to doubt your own judgment and your own worth, and that, my friend, is how they control you. But here's the turning point: you have to stop doubting yourself. The first step in breaking free from this cycle of manipulation is recognizing that you don't have to second-guess your feelings or your instincts. You are not crazy. You are not wrong for feeling upset, for feeling hurt, for feeling betrayed. Your emotions are valid. When you start to trust yourself again, and when you begin to see that the problem is not with you, but with how you've been treated, that's when the narcissist starts to lose their power over you. You need to stand firm in your truth. Stop apologizing for having boundaries, for having a voice, for standing up for yourself. Your worth is not determined by their approval or their validation. You are not crazy. You are not too sensitive. You are simply a person with emotions, just like anyone else. And no No one has the right to make you feel otherwise. Remember, you are the expert on your own life, your own experiences, your own feelings. No one else can tell you what you should feel or how you should feel it. The narcissist's job is to make you doubt yourself. Your job is to reclaim your confidence, your power, and your self-worth. It's time to stop questioning your value and start trusting yourself again. You deserve to be seen, heard, and loved for who you truly are, not for who they want you to be. It's time to break free from the trap of self-doubt. In the end, it all comes down to one crucial realization. You are